Morning, kids. Dr. Vincent here. Hope you're having a great day or had a great day. Why am I here? What am I doing? You might not know, but it's National Library Week. Libraries are really important. At school, we have a city library. Lots of libraries make big differences. Allow you to read, allow us to read. Really important stuff. We have librarians. We're going to talk a lot about that this entire week. In fact, I am going to read a book in honor of National Library Week every day this week. Why? You may ask, am I wearing a headband? Am I wearing this really awesome national championship game t-shirt and have my Red Raider banner behind me? Because y'all know I'm a Red Raider. And here's the deal. They're playing for the National Men's Basketball Championship tonight. So I'm excited. And I love it when we get excited. I also get excited about reading books. This is one of my favorite, The Lumberjack's Beard. And Duncan Beedie did a great job of really describing some funny and interesting stuff. So let's get started. The Lumberjack's Beard. So, look at that. Don't you love the mountains? Isn't that fun? Big Jim Hickory was a lumberjack. I like the name Big Jim Hickory. He lived in the forest in a little log cabin. He had burly shoulders and a big bristly beard. I wish I could have a big bristly beard. It'd be awesome. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Every morning, he did limbering up exercises. I don't think that lumberjacks, I didn't know they did that, to be honest with you. It's very important to limber up if you're a lumberjack. Note to self, didn't know that. Limbering up is important. Whoa, wait a minute here. Check what he's doing now. After a hearty breakfast of pancakes and maple syrup, I like that too, Jim slung his trusty axe over his shoulder and headed out into the forest. Could you eat that many pancakes? I'd like to try. Chop, choppity, chop went Jim's axe. He can cut down some trees. Timber! You've heard that. Echoing through the valley as he felled tree after tree after tree. Pretty cool. Oh, but I don't know. What do we have here? A bunch of stumps. After a long day of swinging, whacking, cleaving, and hacking, Jim headed back to his cabin. Busy day, right? That evening, he was just about to go to bed. He heard peek, peek, peckety peek at the door. He looked down to see a small, very angry bird. "I just built a new nest in my tree," shrieked the bird, "and you chopped it down." That looks like a cranky bird right there. Jim scratched his chin, and then he had an idea. "I suppose you could move into my beard," he said. His beard. "Very well then," said the bird. And in it flew. That bird is going to live in a beard. Didn't know that happened either. The next morning, Jim woke up earlier than usual due to his birds chirping at the crack of dawn. So check it out. There's the there is the bird. There's the pancakes, and he's snacking on dinner. That's impressive. He did his limbering up exercises, got dressed, and ate his breakfast with a little help from the new tenant. That's somebody who lives somewhere in his beard. Next, Jim's next job was to strip all the branches and leaves from the tree trunks and burn them in a big bonfire. After a long day of chopping, snapping, and burning, and crackling, Jim trudged back to his cabin for a well-earned rest. So that's a big old day right there. He worked. Y'all, lumberjacks work hard. No sooner had he put away his axe. Then he heard a noise at the door. Oh no, who is this one? Who's going to be here? I don't know. This is going to be kind of crazy here. Scratch, scratchety scratch. He looked down to see a very angry porcupine. Oh, those are the pokey ones, right? So check it out. That is a cranky and very pokey animal. I needed those leaves and pine needles to make a very cozy shelter. Where am I going to live now? Snapped the porcupine. I have a bad feeling about this, because you know what I'm thinking. Jim thought and scratched his chin. Well, he said, I suppose you could live into my beard. And then he bent down, and the porcupine crawled in. I got to show you that one more time. My goodness gracious alive. Doesn't have much in Wylie. Next morning, Jim woke even earlier and attempted to do his limbering up exercises. He looked in the mirror and scratched his chin. Yow! He got porcupine quills in his fingers. See what? Yeah, there's porcupine, those sticky things. He tried to eat breakfast, but lost his appetite when he noticed the bird poop in his shirt. Can you believe this? It's hard for me to eat too. The bird doesn't look like he's worried about it. Jim's job that day was to float all the tree trunks down the river to the lumber yard, one by one. He rolled the logs into the fast-flowing river. Check it out. Look at that river. It's flowing, it's moving, it's grooving with all those cool logs. After a hard day of lugging, splashing, rolling, and crashing, see, look, there is where the lumber yard is, and look at all those neatly stacked logs provided by Harper and the Lumberjack. After that big old day, Jim staggered back to his cabin. Thump, thumpity thump, thump went his door. He looked down to see a very angry beaver on his doorstep. Oh no. I spent all day building my dam and got it smashed to bits by those logs you threw down the river. It snarled. Without a word, Jim picked up the beaver and put it into his, you guessed it, his beard. Oh my goodness gracious. Between the birds chirping, the porcupines prickling, and the beavers thumping, Jim did not get much sleep that night. He was too tired to do his limbering up exercises in the morning, and his beaver's thumping tail knocked his pancakes all over the floor. Jim has had a less than awesome week, but his attitude is going to make a difference. That's it, cried Jim. I can't take it anymore. I hear that sometimes. You all have to move out today. But where will we live? All of the animals in there, his beard said. Cried the animals. As Jim scratched his chin, and he had a brilliant idea. See, that's what happens when you stop and you think, right? He went into his bathroom, took out a razor, and began to shave off his big, bristly beard. So what do you think's going to happen? He's shaving it. He's going to look a little bit more like Dr. Benson, I think, and it's going to be awesome. Then he took his hair and piled it up on the porch, and the bird and the porcupine and the beaver all moved into their big, bristly new den. Absent of my friend, the lumberjack. That night, Jim slept better than he had for some time. He woke up and did some particularly vigorous limbering up exercises and put on a fresh plaid shirt. That's the color here. That's when you say plaid, that's that color, or that's that design of the material. Good stuff. Then he made an enormous tower of pancakes and maple syrup. So check that out. He looks like he's enjoying life once again. Animal free, I might add. Jim looked out the window at the bare ground where the forest used to be, and he scratched his stubby chin. Then he had another brilliant idea. I don't know what you think this brilliant idea is going to be. Because here's the thing. I think it kind of makes him sad that there's no trees there. But Jim's also very responsible, so when he does things, it's going to be good. Jim took his shovel and dug a hole, one right after the other. Oh, isn't that awesome? What do you think he did in those holes? I think you know. Because he planted some trees. And I think his friends are pretty impressed with what he's doing. Jim's beard grew back over time. Well, Jim, I probably didn't see that lower picture there, but that's Jim in the summer, enjoying life. The trees actually took quite a bit longer to grow, though, than Jim just planting the tree and just watching it, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So look, the fall and the summer and the spring when it rains and the snow, it looks kind of cold there with Jim and his new friends. But it was worth the wait. The end. I love that Jim was, first of all, really friendly. And he was respectful of his friends and tried to help them in any way he could. And when trouble came, he found a way to help his friends and the grit necessary to make something better and move through problems and realize that you can fix things. I was talking to a kid the other day that was telling me that he sometimes had trouble reading. And he told me that his teacher believed in him and that he was going to keep trying just like Jim did, solving problems. And I know that he is going to do well because he is never going to give up. Because the Wylie Way is finding a way to keep trying and having the mindset, which means how you feel in your brain and in your heart, that you can do it. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Dr. Vincent had trouble reading when he was little. I kept going. And because people believed in me, like my mom and my dad and my brothers and sisters and my teachers, I was successful at reading, and now I love to read. Remember a couple of things. Trying is what it's all about, and no matter where you are in the reading process, kids, you can do it. Also remember that I love you very much, and I am proud that you are a Wylie ISD student. Have a great day, because that's the Wylie Way.